Don't let this beautiful day deceive you. While sunny and beautiful and no clouds in the skies really, it has a bitter side to it. Take a look at this. Feels like minus 18. Good morning, YouTube. What is going on? If this is your first time here, my name is Brendon Camm, and on this vlog, we talk all things endurance sports. Whether that be triathlon, swimming, biking, who knows? Who knows what we'll get ourselves into in the future? If you're into that type of stuff, consider hitting that subscribe button. We're going to be doing some fun stuff. It's the last weekend before I get into the main training block, so we're going to enjoy that. We're going to be doing whatever we want. So in the pool today, I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably just go in there, splish splash around, have a great time, because you know what? What's the point of these sports if we can't have some fun? Am I right? Am I right? Okay. Now, one thing I do know for sure is because it's Valentine's Day and my mop is looking not too nice, got to get it all cleaned up for the lady because she deserves a little bit better than this right here. We'll come on back and we'll talk about the US Olympic trials being held on February 29th. We'll talk a little bit about the qualifying standards and what they have to go through to make that Olympic team for the United States. Oh, baby, let's do it. Hair's cut, coffee's bought. Nice. So in all that excitement, I forgot to pack my swim bag. So here we are again. I gotta go get that. I'm gonna have a little bit more coffee. I keep delaying this swim. So here's the deal. I was just walking in, minding my own business, and winter struck me one more time. Fell on a patch of ice. Now, I haven't assessed the damage yet, but it fell right on my knees, so it's a little bit tender. Let's take a look at the damage. What a day, YouTube. What a freaking day. So I've assessed the situation, and I'm not going to go to the pool. The reason being, it's not so much for the cut here, it's that when I fell, I twisted my leg backward, and my knee and hip are very, very tender now. Kind of hurts to walk around, so I think it's best if I just stay put because, like I said, today's not really a major training day. The real training starts next week. So if I just take her easy today, hopefully this thing will heal up nicely and we can get into the proper training next week. What that means now is that we can just get into the main topic of the video today. We can talk about the US Olympic Marathon Trials. Yes. All right, so the US Olympic Marathon Trials are coming right up, and we have some of the top endurance athletes through the entire United States competing. Now, these are going to be held in Atlanta, Georgia on February 29th, 2020. So if my math is correct, that's in 15 days' time. But not just anyone could show up at these Olympic trials and try their heart out to get a spot on the US Olympic marathon team. They have to do a pre-qualifier in which, for the women, they have to run a full marathon in under 2 hours and 45 minutes. For the men, they have to run a full marathon in under 2 hours and 19 minutes flat. No seconds. If you guys are 2:45:01 or 2:19:01, you're out. You're not going to the US Olympic Marathon Trials. That's it. That's enough for you. You're not coming. So once everyone has gone through the pre-qualifier and they're signed up for the Olympic trials, they can go and compete in Atlanta, Georgia on February 29th. Now, there's probably about 711 qualifiers, but of course some will drop out and who knows what will happen. So there will be a lower amount of starters on the start line on the 29th. The way that this works is the top 3 people, men and women, get selected to be on the US Olympic Marathon team. The top 3 men are the US Olympic Men's Marathon team. The top 3 women are the US Olympic Women's Marathon team. Now, number 4 in both of those races will be considered an alternate. So if one of the top 3 people get injured or illness strikes them or something, the 4th individual will be able to compete at the Olympics in 2020 Tokyo. They're coming. Both the men's and women's race will be held on the exact same day, just spaced out about 10 minutes apart from each other. So it's going to be a very interesting day indeed. And what makes this course even more interesting is that it's an 8-mile loop 3 times, and then they finish it off with a 2.2-mile loop. So we'll get to cheer them on and see them up front and personal if you're going to be at Atlanta, Georgia. But if not, don't you worry. NBC is going to be televising the entire event. It's going to be pretty jam-packed, which is pretty cool because most times the races that I've done or have followed, they're point A to B back to A. And that kind of, it doesn't really give a great spectator experience. But having that nice loop, it's almost like watching a track race because these people, there's not going to be much gap between them. There may be a few minutes at most, so it's going to be very neck and neck, interesting, fired up racing. So if you have time on the 29th, please make sure that you watch this because they only come once every 4 years. And one thing to mention about this Atlanta, Georgia course is that they don't have to deal with a bunch of hills, but they do have about 1,200 feet of vertical gain. That's roughly 400 meters for us Canadians, so it's not flat by any means. They will have to be able to contend with the hills and be strong enough to take that pounding going up the rolling hills and down the rolling hills. So it's something they'll have to be considerate about as they're going through this US Olympic marathon trial. Who are the top 3 qualifiers for both the men and the women's side? Who do we think is going to be on the US Olympic marathon team? Now, I don't follow these runners too much, but I will be following them more closely. So if you want to hear more about them, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we're going to be talking about the Olympics in quite detail over the next few months, that's for sure. So for the women's side, in first place, we have Jordan Hesse. She has a qualifying time of 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 57 seconds. Quite a fast time. Coming up in second for the US women, we have Amy Craig, who did a 2:21.47. And then in third place, we have Sarah Hall, who did a 2:22.16. All 3 crazy amazing times, much quicker than that qualifying time of 2 hours and 45 minutes. And they're all very close together, so those top 3 should be really interesting. And on the men's side, coming in number 1, we have Galen Rupp. He did a 2 hour, 6 minute, and 7 second marathon, which is crazy fast. And then in the second position, coming right for him, we have Lennart Kurher. I can't pronounce it. It's Kurir. He did a 2:07.56. Quite amazing as well. And then coming up in that third position, we have Scott Fable, who did a 2:09.09. Amazing. They're all amazing athletes. But one thing to note is that their qualifying times could have been from anywhere from September 1st, 2017 until January 19th, 2020. So who knows? Maybe the people in the third position are much more fit than the person in the first position. Who knows? Maybe the person that qualified in the 50th position's faster than the person in the first position. It's going to be a very exciting race day indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna wrap it up for today because it is Valentine's Day and I gotta get looking nice. I already got my hair cut, looking pretty good, so I gotta get all this place looking nice for the lady. I hope you all have a fantastic Valentine's Day if you celebrate it. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace. Remember, seek discomfort and keep on smiling.